This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Haley Potter. The debate on booster shots continues as more key members of our government test positive for COVID-19. The country's plan to roll out boosters is now being criticized. We have all the latest.
All right, you relax.
With 155 million Americans set to qualify for a booster over the next 8 months, tonight some leading experts are not yet convinced a third dose is actually needed. Citing multiple studies, the White House task force laid out a case of waning protection from infection and the Delta variant. But so far, there's only been a slight decline in the prevention of hospitalization and serious illness.
I do think the administration is moving a bit too fast. We vaccinate to save lives. The purpose here is not to prevent mild cough, cold, flu symptoms or even something that leaves you laid up in bed. The point here is to prevent severe disease, hospitalizations, and death.
What we're starting to see over
in a campaign blitz, today top officials look to reassure Americans, warning they're not just trying to prevent the explosion in new cases, but more importantly, the surge of hospitalizations already overwhelming some medical centers.
Rather than saying, let's wait until we start seeing significant disease and hospitalizations, let's get ahead of the curve.
But the WHO says other countries will pay the price for boosters.
We're planning to hand out extra life jackets to people who already have life jackets, while we're leaving other people to drown without a single life jacket.
Left out of the debate for now, those vaccinated with Johnson & Johnson. It could be weeks until we know if they too will need a booster.
And now some worry another dose could undermine the confidence of millions who have not yet chosen to get vaccinated. Tonight, the battle over boosters delivering a shot of controversy.
And here in the Virgin Islands, we continue to closely monitor COVID-19 cases. 279 people are currently testing positive for coronavirus throughout the territory. There are again fewer cases than there have been, but cases are still high, with 86 active cases in St. Croix, 187 in St. Thomas, and 6 in St. John. According to the VI Department of Health, all of the people currently hospitalized because of COVID-19 are not fully vaccinated. The No VI Child Goes Hungry initiative will resume next week in the territory, only in the St. Croix School District. The Virgin Islands Department of Education will resume the feeding initiative on Monday, August 23rd in St. Croix for the 2021-2022 school year. The initiative's been suspended until further notice in the St. Thomas-St. John district due to the rise in COVID-19 cases among food service workers. Now in its third year, the initiative was launched in March of 2020 and has served more than 1 million meals to students attending the territory's public and private schools since campuses closed due to the coronavirus pandemic. Parents and guardians are invited to pick up packaged breakfast and lunch meals at designated sites in or near their neighborhoods Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 11 a.m. while supplies last. Meals are not served on weekends or on any holidays. When picking up meals, masks are required to be worn and recipients are asked to remain in their vehicles for drive-through pickup. Here's a look at what some of the meals look like. The Department of Education says many Virgin Islands families depend on us to provide nutritious meals for their children. For a list of the sites to pick up food for a child, visit our website, usvibs.com. No word yet just on when the initiative will resume in the St. Thomas School District. The FAA is proposing more than $500,000 in new fines against unruly commercial airline passengers. The passengers, sometimes under the influence of drugs or alcohol, are refusing to wear masks, throwing luggage, and hitting flight attendants. As our USVI News' Emily Matson explains, acting up on a plane could not only lead you into trouble, but it could cost you a small fortune.
Ugly incidents in the air are skyrocketing, and now federal authorities are detailing the most incidents yet of unruly passengers facing federal fines. Just released documents are giving the blow-by-blow of passengers allegedly punching fellow flyers in the face, snorting what appeared to be cocaine, storming the flight deck, and even threatening to kill a flight attendant. The Federal Aviation Administration is proposing more than $500,000 in new fines, bringing the total to more than $1 million since the agency enacted a zero-tolerance policy earlier this year.
People need to understand that there are severe consequences here.
Flight crews have reported 3,800 unruly passengers to the FAA just this year, but the agency has initiated enforcement action in only 120 cases. Now, some in Congress say the FAA's power to punish is too limited, and the FBI should pursue putting passengers in prison.
The first time we take one of these jerks who's, assaulting flight attendants and or attempting to take an aircraft down, and they go away for a few years and they get a massive fine. I think that'll send a message to others out there who are thinking about acting out.
The largest new fine proposed by the FAA is against a passenger accused of throwing his luggage at another passenger, lying on the aisle floor, then grabbing a flight attendant by the ankles and putting his head up her skirt. That flight from New York to Orlando was forced to land early in Virginia. 2/3 of new fines involve passengers violating the transportation mask mandate, and about a quarter involve passengers illegally bringing their own alcohol on board. Now, the FAA is pleading with airports to crack down on to-go alcohol sales to help ground unruly passengers before they even get in the air.
When people start getting put in jail for their actions on the planes that are putting everyone in jeopardy, there's going to be some serious sobering up.
Emily Matson, USVI News.
Thank you, Emily. And in an effort to cut down on problems, American Airlines just announced it's extending its ban on alcohol sales until next January. The airline says it's also working in its major hubs like Charlotte and Dallas to keep passengers from bringing their own booze on board.